Hey, it's Jonathan Potoshnik. So the question is, how can a legit company stay competitive when you have so much more overhead, insurance, workers' comp, taxes, than every other John Doe and his all-cash lawn care company? And where's the edge? And will consumers pay for professionalism, a sharp fleet? Because I'm trying to figure out if I'll be able to divide and conquer my market. So this is a question that is not uncommon. I think it's one that many worry about. And so to address it, I would simply say that there is an edge. You don't really need to worry about as much as you are. Yes, you're correct in that there are a ton of guys in the marketplace. There's a ton of little companies running around where these guys aren't legit. They don't have insurance. They're not legal. They may not even have insurance on their trucks. They're not doing anything by the book. And they're just knocking on doors, or they're putting out something on the door. They're taking clients from other companies, and they're all doing it all on price. Or some of these guys are working for other lawn care companies that aren't paying attention to what's going on, and they're mowing yards on the side. So you've got guys running real businesses that have employees that the neighbor walks over and says, "Hey, can you mow my lawn?" And they say, "Sure, it'll be $20," and they just mow it every week on the side. And so if you don't have mobile units on your guys or GPS units on your guys, if you're the company, you have no idea this is going on. Those guys are taking a lot of lawns too. And they're doing it all in a professional setting. The company owners just don't realize what's going on. This is very common. So you're competing against those guys as well. So this is a very, very valid question. The deal is that it's not nearly as big of a deal as you think it is. There are guys running around that are they're not legit at all. And what happens is the homeowner, the small business, generally not the big business, this is the small businesses, and the homeowners, they buy from these guys, and they buy from them 100% based on price. And then they get burned, and then they never do business with those guys again, and they never do business with anybody based on price again because they've been burned. So the market's only so big for the guys that run around that are low ballers that have low quality. And in that case, it's only so big because you burn enough people, word starts to get out, and you don't get any more business. So I really do not buy the belief that the low ballers and the guys running around that are illegal with no insurance are just destroying the entire market. Yes, they're hurting it, but they're not destroying it. There's plenty of opportunity. Usually what the problem is that you haven't figured out how to really do marketing right yet, and you haven't really figured out all the things that go into building the business, and that's perfectly understandable. So oftentimes the issue is confused. It seems like the problem is that it's all those low ballers and those guys not running a legit business, but in reality it's really usually our problem, us as the business owners. There's something we're doing wrong that is not making it possible for us to win the business. I'm in Texas. I'm in as competitive in a market as there is. I'm in a very good market, but very successful. And what I mean by that is it's a good market. There's a lot of competitors, and with that, there are also an incredible amount of illegal workers that have gone off to start their own businesses. I have every problem that anybody else has anywhere in the country, except I don't have unions. But otherwise, I've got all the problems. And so our company is completely able to thrive in this market because we're able to look and act and be completely different than all those other guys. Yes, there are a certain number of homeowners, certain number of small businesses that are going to take those low bids, but it's not really that big of a deal. Those people are not for us. That's the way I look at it. They're the ones that pay slow. They're the ones that are causing more trouble. They're making a decision on price. They're not a good client. They're not the client that when we want to sell them flowers or mulch or more frequent bush trimming or fertilization weed control or irrigation inspections, they're not going to buy that stuff because they're completely concerned with price and they're completely concerned with maintaining some small budget. They are not for us. So let all those low ballers have them. I really don't care. Let them. Somebody needs to fill that space in the marketplace. These low baller guys can fill it. These illegal aliens that have gone off and started their own businesses, they can fill that stuff. And by the way, there are some really good guys that charge way too little money. So there are actually some semi-legit businesses where the owner is charging way too little. And he is paying insurance and he is doing some good stuff and he is legal, but he's not charging enough. And that's because he's so small he doesn't know his numbers yet. He doesn't understand his business yet. See, a lot of guys complain about all the lowballers in the industry. They were lowballers originally. When I got in the industry, I was a lowballer. I wasn't so much a lowballer on the maintenance side of the business, but I was a lowballer on the landscape side of the business. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. So I was one of those guys that all the other lawn care companies could have complained about because I was running around putting out bids based on what the guy selling me plants said I should charge. He said double the prices or take the price you paid for the plant times 0.9 and that's times 0.1 or 1.9. That's what you should charge. So I ran around doing that. So I was a lowballer. I didn't understand my numbers and I didn't understand how things really worked. You're dealing with that. So here's how you solve it. It's real easy. You do better work than everybody else. You get really good at marketing. You do all kinds of stuff to differentiate yourself, like you give guarantees on your work. You make yourself look more professional. You answer your phones. You accept credit cards. You have a business computer system that manages your company so that when you install a tree, your system can automatically send out a video to your client that you just installed the tree for, telling your client how to care for the tree. And if there's if the leaves start to get a little bit black, what does that mean to them? What do they look for if it's getting too much or too little water? You start doing the different things. When your clients, you sell fertilization and weed control, and your clients want to be notified in advance, be able to automatically send them text messages on their phones. Be able to email them their invoice or a copy of their paid receipt after they pay their bill. Just little things. Like I said, answer your phones. Call people back. Knock on their door. Go see them in person. It's all that little stuff. Talk to them in English. It's that little stuff that's all you need. You hear about these companies like Zappos, the shoe store that just sold out, the online shoe business that just sold out to Amazon. They really got a reputation for simply shipping shoes with no shipping cost. And then they got a reputation because when they shipped your shoes, a lot of times they would overnight them instead of send them 2 or 3 or 4 day ground. And so buyers started to realize, wow, I ordered my shoes today and I got them, I ordered them yesterday and I got them today. And then they'd tell their friends. And then their friends would buy from Zappos. Think about that stuff. Think about the referral impact of being impressive. Think about the referral impact of doing something different than everybody else. The way you're going to grow this business fastest is by being good. Good's not good enough. It's not enough. You got to market, but it's by being good. It's doing something different. And this isn't hard to do in this business, but it's about doing something different than all your competitors that get the homeowner or the commercial client you're serving to tell their friend. And then that friend buys from you. And then you do something out of the ordinary with them. And then they tell their friend. And then that friend buys from you. And then when you market, you have guarantees and you look totally different than everybody else.